Good morning, Genesis.
Good morning.
Morning.
I am happy to be here this morning.
I feel a tug on my attention. It's pulling me away from here. I hope that I will remember everything you've whispered in my ear. I tried to take it real easy. I pushed until I got stuck. Well, my best days are not behind me, just waiting for me to show up. 'Cause what you give is what you get, nothing more, it's nothing less. Pay a price with no regrets. What you give is what you get. It's what you give. I stole a penny from the tip jar, and I spent it on something sweet. I thought I had a clean getaway, but all I got was nothing for free. So I put a quarter in the jukebox. Now my song is playing loud and clear. When I put a quarter in the jukebox, I always get what I want to hear. That's right. 'Cause what you give is what you get, nothing more, it's nothing less. Pay a price with no regrets. What you give is what you get. It's what you give. So pick a flower or plant a seed, lock it up or set it free. Yeah. Or set it free. I got a love that reminds me the sun will rise into the sky. It does not need me to worry how it will calm down at night. So I made a list that I treasure of everything that makes me smile, and I sharpen up my pencil whenever I see her walk by. 'Cause what you give is what you get, nothing more, it's nothing less. Pay a price with no regrets. What you give is what you get. What you give is what you get, nothing more, it's nothing less. Pay a price with no regrets. What you give is what? It's what you give. It's what you give. It's what you give. Yeah, give. Thank you so much.
So one more big hand for Paul Dillon. Man, we are totally blessed to have him around us and allows us to hear him sing his greatness. I know as soon as they turn the heat on in this building, we'll all warm up a little bit.
We're working on it.
We're working on it, right? Maybe the bill wasn't paid. Elvis used to say, if you ever lose that excitement or that anxiety of coming up and being on stage, then you've really lost it. And let me tell you, I am right there with Elvis right now. So I might have to walk around because I am a little bit cold. So if we move around, anyway. So my topic is spiritual warrior. And, it was given to me by Gail. And we have just finished 12 weeks of the steps that help us in AAA and how it relates to science of mind. And how can this not be a great way of concluding this by doing a spiritual warrior? Now, when I thought about being a spiritual warrior, I may have to take this off here and walk around. I was thinking about what spiritual warrior means to me, and if we all can just pause for a second and think about both those words, spiritual and warrior. Now for me, it's two separate entities, but yet they are connected. Does that kind of sound familiar in the science of mind? So a warrior to me is somebody who stands fast, somebody who rises up, reaches out, and bees themselves. And the warrior in us can take on many forms. So if it's a physical form, it can take on armor, it can take on shield, it can take on just standing of who you are. And I think about that, and part of it is we have this definition of what a warrior is. And allowing ourselves to sit in that definition. And for me, physically, to be a warrior is also to be accepting of everything that's around me. It's not just to push things away or to protect. Because to protect is to protect yourself. Yes, that's true, but also sometimes when we do that, we don't allow ourselves to see what's around us. We don't allow us to accept new thoughts or new ideas. And what's so beautiful is that you folks have that power. You are the gatekeepers of who you are. And you are the ones who allow yourselves to think the thoughts. It's not up to me to define what you should be thinking. It's up to you. And I always say, don't let others define who you are. And this is a perfect example of what that is. You don't allow influences to tell you how you should think. Does that make sense? It makes a lot of sense to me, because I know that when I was a very young child, everything my grandpa told me how he wanted me to be, I always thrived for that. But the issue with that is that's not allowing me to be me. That's allowing the definition of what my grandpa wanted me to be. And I know that there's many times in our lives, and there's many times we think about, boy, I want to please this person. I want to do this. I want to make sure it's right. I'm standing up here right now going, I hope that all of you can take something from this. But the whole point of it is that it's up to you to take something from it, not up to me to give it to you. I'm just up here being the bridge. So allowing yourself to not push things away, but to accept them, or to acknowledge them, or to think about them and allow you to know your own definition of who and what you are. Now that doesn't mean that if something doesn't work for you, it's okay to let it go. It's okay to move on. It's also okay to come back to it at a different point in your life. How many of us are the same people that we were 10 years ago? Yeah, no hands go up there, so that's true. And why is that? That's because we've absorbed things in, we've looked at things, and we've established ourselves of who we are, and we've shifted. Ernest Holmes, the founder of who we really are, Science of Mind, is what you put out there is what you're going to get back. And I agree 100% with him. But also when those things come back, we also have the power and we also have the ability to analyze that and take that in and allow us to reject it, keep it, or take some of it. It's growth. It's total growth. And as we move into that, that's the warrior part of us, is that we want to go out and conquer. And if you think about it in that respect, we're conquering our fears, we're conquering our love, we're conquering how we live our life. So that's the warrior in us. Now what about the spiritual part of it that is in us? So I think about what spirituality to me is not. I shouldn't say it's not. It's a group of things. It's a. You can't have a great spaghetti sauce if you only have tomatoes. You need things in it. You need spices, and you need mushrooms, and you need olives, and you need garlic, and you need all these things to allow you to have that really good spaghetti sauce. And to me, that's what spirituality is to me. It's picking up a book and reading something about Buddhism. It's going to other places where they have ceremonies. It's respecting everything that's around us when it comes to religion and spirituality. It's not pushing people away because they believe a certain way. Or it's not pushing them away because they don't believe the way I believe, because if you all believed the way I believe, you'd all be Miami Dolphin fans. And it's okay that you're not. And I don't hold that against you. Much, right. So, you have to be able to allow, to accept people for where they're at and meet them where they're at. That's part of being spiritual. It's not understanding somebody who, when they come and talk to you and just go, oh gosh, what am I going to do with this? I don't know anything about it. So I'm not going to welcome them in or accept it. That's what it's not about. To me, that's what it's not about. Spirituality is about being able to accept everything for what it is. And if you have questions, or if you're not sure about certain things, you go and ask people about it. Get their opinion so that you can establish a data system inside of you. It's picking up a book. It's even like, all right, I don't understand what's going on in Africa right now. Maybe I should go to Africa and spend some time there so that I can develop my own opinions of what's happening. So I can place them with me and put them in where I can understand it. One of the things that I have struggled a little bit with stepping into this role is they encourage you to know current events. Well, how do I know current events? Well, I have to pick up a newspaper. Well, I don't have to, but I pick up a newspaper. I watch the news, and I don't really enjoy that, because the way the news is broadcast, at least for me, is there's not a whole lot of happiness there. And that's one of the struggles that I have had. I need to be up on current affairs, but I need to move it into a way that it's acceptable inside of me and I can be happy with myself. So, spirituality. So that spiritual warrior in us. Do we fight or do we flight? Do we match up with people? Do we do it alone? Do we allow ourselves to put ourselves in a position where we aren't in contact with people? I don't think that's being a spiritual warrior. I think being a spiritual warrior is getting out there. Well, first of all, it starts inside of myself, which would mean it would start inside of yourself, and having an acceptance of who you are. Because once you decide who you are, if you haven't already, you can go out and you can smile at people, you can shake hands, you can learn from them, you can ask them questions, and they're willing to give you those answers. But it's a projection of who you are. If you go up with an angry face, or if you're crabby, or you have a tone in your voice, how many people want to be around you? Do you even want to be around you? For me, I don't even want to be around me when I'm that way, because it just doesn't feel right. So that spiritual warrior is to go out and expand what you know. Look at things in a different way than maybe what you've been taught to look at. I mean, take today for an example. Yeah, the sun isn't out and it's not really warm, but we have each other. We have the warmth of love. We have the warmth of compassion. We have the warmth of friendship and community right here and right now at Genesis Global Spiritual Center on the beach for the second year in a row. That's the spiritual warrior that I'm talking about. That's coming to class. That's being around like-minded people. That's, like I said, picking up a book and reading about it and having a book club. You know, talking about it. Doesn't that get you excited? For those of us who've been in sports, I mean, I remember when right before we would go out at in my high school, we didn't win a whole lot of games. So when when we first started, the coach would get us all hyped up and get us all excited. And then we came in and, we all knew we were together. We'd come in at halftime, we'd be, 21 points down, 35 points down. I don't know. And it's tough to get us up to go again, but we knew we were all together. We knew we were a team. We knew we had a common goal. Isn't that what spiritual warrior is all about? It's okay to speak up. I give you that permission to talk to people about their thoughts. Now, I encourage you that when you do this, that you stay away from that J word. That J word is judgment. Judgment. Because that's who they've grown up with. That's what they thought. And just by merely opening up to anybody's thought or how they look at things, and you can converse back and forth, you're going to go a lot farther. I believe you're going to go a lot farther. I believe you're going to be welcomed into that. Because you're going to gain knowledge, they're going to gain knowledge. It's not who's right and wrong. Can we get away from that? Can we really get away from who's right and wrong and just start accepting people for who they are? Can we get away from good and bad and just look at it as what it is? Can we get away from the fact that you've done something wrong or it's an error? That to me is a spiritual warrior. That to me, every day getting up and being thankful that I open my eyes and I'm breathing. I have a loving wife. I have a loving daughter. I have great friends around me. I got people that support me. That's being a spiritual warrior. Going into the grocery store and actually looking that poor checker. I was in the grocery business for 18 years. And I will tell you, it was a grind. However, so because of that, when I go into a grocery store, I always ask the checker how they're doing. Or I'm doing fine. Okay. Is that really who you are? Are they treating you well here? And I can normally get a smile or a laugh out of them because they know they're probably not being treated 100%. I do that. I'm in customer service myself, and I love shaking hands. I love giving a hug. I love giving that smile, that eye-to-eye contact, that personal feeling. I normally don't look down when I'm talking to you. Normally, unless my shoulder's hurting or my back's hurting or something. But I normally don't do that. Why? Because I want to see who you are. To me, that's the spiritual warrior. We're all in this together. We are all in this together. It makes no difference where we are on this planet, in this universe. We are all in this together. And if we can just allow ourselves to sit in that and be in that, it's okay to love one another. It's okay to help people. It's okay to even have differences. It's how we handle those differences. I'm sure one of the things that we rise up, reach out, and be ourselves, not only in Genesis, but in this world, is when there's something that happens like a hurricane or a fire or something. Those people help everybody. They don't ask them if they're Democrat or Republican. They don't ask them what their income is at where they live. They don't ask them any of that. They just jump in and help, and that's really what we're all about. Why we have to have this conflict, I don't get that. Me being a spiritual warrior is allowing myself to accept people for who they are, yes, but also hopefully by my actions and by what I do and how I say things and how I present things, somebody will go, I heard this crazy guy on the beach who was freezing to death doing a sermon one time, and he was saying we were all in this together. That's being a spiritual warrior, to me. You all have your definitions, and I get that. And there's people that have to go through things in life that they don't even think it's going to end. I have a friend. I have a friend who never who had her. Well, there you go. Her husband had a medical issue, and they had to leave the Pacific Northwest and go to a place that was a little bit warmer. And they were expected to come back in 3-4 months, maybe 5 at the max. It took them almost 18 months to get back. But you know what? They never gave up. They never thought that they weren't going to make it back here physically. And here they are, they're back. And those examples that we have in front of us, they can do it. Because once we see somebody can do something, you know what happens? We can do it. Because somebody else did it. We can if we have something in front of us that shows us that we can do it, our spiritual warrior comes out and goes, I want to help. I want to do that. I want to go into practitionership. I want to be a minister. I want to do these things. So what I encourage you to do is to look around at what you have and be grateful for it. Understand that there's an abundance out there and you can achieve anything that you wanted to if you change your thought process. You can overcome. Any sacrifice that you've made is not done in vain. It's done in honor. Reach out to your brother and sisters and help them along the way. Ernest Holmes says, again, what you put out there is what you get back. And I thoroughly, thoroughly believe that. So I encourage you to do all that. I want to tell you that it's a great honor for me to stand here and right now in front of you. It hasn't been the easiest road, but Courtney and I have persevered. And I am so grateful. I'm so humbled to stand here and thank you for witnessing this. And with that, I'd just like to close with a prayer. If you join me in closing your eyes, maybe if you want to hold a hand next to the person sitting next to you, and just allow yourself to feel that humanness. Yes, humanness. As we sit here today, knowing that being a spiritual warrior has many definitions, that the curiosity ignites us, that the compassion puts a smile on our face, the love for each one here and online is greater than we'll ever know, and we are so grateful for that. Being a spiritual warrior is standing up, being real, and rising up. Hearing the ocean, hearing the greatness that this world has to offer. I extend that to you. I know that you are blessed in so many ways. I know that being part of this community is like being a family. I know that the love embraces us, keeps us safe, keeps us strong, keeps us healthy, and just allows us to move through life with grace and ease. I bless each and every one of you. Again, I thank you for being here, and together we say, and so it is. So with that, thank you. So with that, it's my great pleasure to introduce Paul again. Dillon. Here he is. Thank
Yay!
you, Paul. And Spirit House.
I'd like to do a song by Ben Harper, and I believe that I've probably taken a few liberties with this song. I'd like to thank Spirit House for jumping in at the last minute and helping out with me. And I encourage you guys to sing along. You'll know what to do in just a sec. I'm a living sunset, lightning in my bones. You push me to the edge, but my will is stone. But I believe in a better way. I believe in a better way. Fools will be fools and wise will be wise, but I will look this world straight in the eyes. 'Cause I believe in a better way. I believe in a better way. What good is a man who won't take a stand? What good is a cynic with no better plan? I believe in a better way. I believe in a better way. Reality is sharp, it cuts me like a knife. Everyone I know is in the fight of their life. I believe in a better way. I believe in a better way. So take your face out of your hands and clear your eyes. You got a right to your dreams and don't be denied. I believe in a better way. I believe in a better way. I believe in a better way. I believe there's a better way.